Hi everyone, it's Carrie with Happy Fish Tarot, reeling in wisdom from the Sea of Tarot, and today is Tarot Tuesday. So I just finished reading this book, Finding Your Own North Star by Martha Beck. Her basic premise is that we all have two aspects within us, and she refers to this as our essential self and our social self. The essential self, I associate this concept with the Fool card. This is the part of us that is free-flowing. This is our innermost core. This is the part of us that would be the same regardless of where we were born, what society we grew up in, what our culture was. This is kind of the part of us that would remain despite external circumstances. The essential self shows the things we would do and the way we would react if we didn't have all of our social conditioning. The social self I associate with the Chariot card. This is the part of our personality that we develop based on our cultural standards, our education, the society that we live in. This is the part of us that has learned to adapt to external demands, and it's also usually the part of us that we are most willing to show to the world. When people become unhappy, it's often because they lose touch with their essential self. It's really easy for us to forget or not acknowledge that there is more to our whole being than just our social self. I started noticing these two aspects within myself a few years ago, so when I read this book, this concept really resonated with me. And when I began to see this happening within myself, I started to actively take steps to loosen the grip of my social self and give my essential self the chance to shine through more often. A lot of people in the kind of tarot, personal growth, spirituality sort of world are already really big advocates of listening to our essential self and integrating our essential self more into our lives. And I really like seeing that movement. I think it's really important because for so long our society has kind of been based around living only from within the social self, so it's nice to see that pendulum start to swing a little bit in the other direction. However, I think it's important to also remember that the social self is not the enemy. Martha Beck makes a really big point of this in her book, and I found it to be a really refreshing approach. The social self is just as vital to our whole being as the essential self is. And so I do definitely see the importance of bringing out our essential selves, but I think sometimes in the movement of people who are more into the personal growth kind of world, it can be easy to villainize the social self. Neither one of these aspects are fully effective without the influence of the other. So if we only lived with the influence of our essential self, we would react without thinking, we would spend a lot of time daydreaming, and we'd have a really hard time actually channeling our energy effectively. On the other hand, if we let the social self run the show, we would be very focused on getting ahead, gaining social approval, and remaining in good standing within society. According to Martha Beck, and I completely agree with her on this, the key is to get these two aspects to communicate openly and to work together. I think that tarot is a really powerful tool for opening up the line of communication between the essential self and the social self. So the social self has a very strong will, and it can be really tricky to get this part of us to quiet down enough that the essential self has a chance to have a say as well. A tarot reading creates an atmosphere in which the essential self is given a language, and it's an environment in which the social self is encouraged to listen and interact. So your essential self speaks a wordless language. It's a language of symbols and intuition. I think the reason tarot has been so popular for so long is that it speaks the language of the essential self, and it gives the essential self an avenue to express its perspective. And of course, the social self is the aspect within you that puts the reading into words. So both the essential self and the social self participate in a tarot reading, and when a tarot reading goes well, both of these aspects within you are able to walk away feeling heard and feeling as though they are members of the same team and that they're working together for your benefit. And when we're able to open this line of communication between the essential self and the social self, or the Fool and the Chariot, we are able to feel more integrated. We're able to live with our whole being. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out my website, happyfishtarot.com. I am available for private individual tarot readings through email and through Skype. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out videos every Tuesday. I will catch you next time.